What you are listening to is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in the squared circle. Both parties have agreed to dismiss their cases and have their disputes settled here in our forum, the Turnbuckle Debate.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of the Turnbuckle Debate. My name is Sneed.
I'm Chad.
I'm Mike.
I'm the OG fit kid. Mike's stepping all over my spot.
The staple just got stepped on. He's taking your spot.
I'm a staple remover. It's my new wrestling gimmick.
We're all about new gimmicks tonight. Well, we're rolling with the four pillars of the tavern again.
Yeah. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's good fun. I think we have some good topics. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think there's some passion that can be thrown around in some of these topics.
Absolutely. We have some really good topics. Since we don't have anyone new on here that is going to shill out their podcast, we do have some t-shirts.
Yes.
If you guys want to go to prowrestlingtees.com/tavern, we have a ton of cool stuff. We got the OG shirts. We've got the debate shirts. We've got Tom and Mike with their shirts. We got a new Mike Belcaster shirt. Check that out.
Yeah.
You can also get a shirt with all of our names on it that lets you know who's running the show.
Yeah. The seven, the magnificent seven.
The problem is young Anthony has a whole row to himself.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Not enough to pump up his ego.
Yeah, go to Teespring because that's where you're going to get the
fun
the B-sides, the things that you won't find on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Yeah,
it's
like
fine.
get a Tom sticker, get a Tom coffee mug. The staple lives.
I need two of them.
Get a mug with his mug.
So you can remove it.
Go over. I mean, if you want links for everything, go to theturnbuckletavern.com. You can find the links to everything that we do, and definitely go over and get some merch. There's some really cool stuff that I think you guys would be happy to wear.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And in another note, if you're a fan of Fig Night, it's moved to Monday nights, which is today. So tune in tonight. Mondays, 8 p.m. Fig Night on the move.
Yeah, Mondays at 8 p.m. Fig Night. Kick your week off with the best wrestling figure podcast out there. We're coming for you, Major Pod.
Shots fired.
You're next.
You're next.
All right. Well, we got our shilling out of the way. I think we jump into some topics if you guys are ready.
Yeah, do it.
Oh yeah.
Let's go. All right, so our first topic of the evening is Walter already dead in the water on NXT 2.0. Now, the reason for this topic is if you watched the Raw Down show last night, you would have seen a live reaction to the
it was great.
the news that Walter's name has changed. He is not Walter anymore.
He's Gunther.
Gunther. Hello, my name is Gunther.
I mean, look,
why?
They've been wiping anything that was connected to the original NXT, so they're just continuing to do that. And how stupid is it? You have something, the most popular thing in the brand right now, they just wiped and totally changed.
Yeah.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. I don't get it.
Do you think he's dead in the water, or does he have a chance to do something there?
I still think his following fans will be there. Like, I don't know. I mean, it depends if they change his gimmick and soften him up some.
Dead in the water. I'm going with full blown dead in the water. How do you come back from that? How do you change this brutal beast of a man's name from Walter to a Nazi soldier, Gunther. You know, it just doesn't.
Why though?
Exactly why? It doesn't make any fucking sense. But it's not doing him any. He's already established. You know, that'd be like fucking, you know, changing. Oh, we're not going to call them Oreos anymore. We're calling them, you know, like dippers or some shit like that. I don't know. Dippers, milk dippers. But yeah, it makes no fucking sense, man.
But why give somebody the name Dewdrop? Why make Matt Riddle only Riddle? It's all stupid.
Yeah, well, here's the thing too. Like, and so Shane Helms tweeted out, and he said, "In my WWE TV debut, I lost my name, my gimmick, my entrance song, my finisher, and my WCW Cruiserweight Championship all in one night. If I survive that, Walter will be just fine." But I think there was something that he said in there that kind of negates his whole argument. In his TV debut, this wasn't his TV debut.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
TV.
We know who the fuck you are.
Right.
I can see you. Like, I know what you look like. I know you're Walter. You're not Gunther. That's stupid.
You have a reputation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Period. That name has became like it was a goofy kind of drab name that everyone if you knew nothing of Walter and you hear, oh, there's a wrestler named Walter, you're like, what the fuck? Who's Chris Jericho even commented how it was a stupid name. But
Yeah.
once you watch him and get the vibe they were going for and the way they set him up, his entrance theme with like the Star Wars type of Imperial March, that fucking infinite black space with his big ass black silhouette standing there like a fucking stormtrooper. I mean, that's what made the name awesome, because I no longer, when I heard Walter, he took that name over for me. So if I heard that name, it was no longer this nerdy drab name. It was, he made it his own. Now it was like Walter was, fuck, Walter's coming. It had like this impending doom to it almost for me.
Yeah.
And now they strip him of that. Like, and here's the difference for me. It's one thing if Killer Cross comes into NXT and when they sign him, they change his name. He's Karrion Kross.
Right.
Walter has been tearing it up under the WWE banner for years in NXT UK. He's had spots in regular NXT. He's always been Walter. And now with Vince getting his panties in a bunch over Triple H losing a ratings battle, now he has to like whitewash everything Hunter's done to even take this guy, bring him into NXT. Dude, I'm not going to be surprised if within 8 or 9 months we're seeing Walter in fucking Oktoberfest regalia, fucking high stepping down to the ring with an accordion player walking beside him playing an accordion. Like, that's the type of shit that could be on the horizon.
A finishing move called the cuckoo clock.
Yeah.
And come on, man.
He has some old bearded guy walk out onto stage with a big long fucking horn and blows it.
We're not far from it. We're not far from it. And that's the sad thing.
No, it's really not.
Very possible.
I would say it's more likely than not likely.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think he's necessarily, I kind of pause short of saying he's dead in the water. I mean, you never know what crazy gears are turning in Vince McMahon's head. He could see Walter and flash back to 1984 and be like, oh, he's so big and dominant. I could do anything. Yeah. You know, he might, we never know why, how, or when Vince is going to see someone and be like, that's my guy. So
right.
Anytime that could happen. But if you're looking at the track record of, you know, the Dewdrops, the Dominic Dijakovic being slapjack,
that whole retribution garbage.
Yeah, Karrion Kross going to the main roster, getting stuck with like shitty Demolition meets S&M meets Salt and Gear. You know what I mean? Like, so there's a lot of examples out there that instantly, when you hear a name change like Walter go to Gunther, it makes you kind of sick to your stomach. I will say, like, if you know nothing about wrestling and someone tells you, hey, this character named Walter changed his name to Gunther, you're going to think, so what? Both names suck. But the reputation of Walter, if you knew him, that's what hurts, because he owned that name and he made it cool.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And it's, if somebody else was, I think it was Road Dogg, they were like, oh, remember when they thought Finn Balor was the end of the world when it changed his name? And it was like, yeah, but that, like, as we said earlier, that wasn't, this wasn't Walter's debut. This wasn't Gunther's debut. He's a well-established character. So it just pisses all over that.
I'll tell you one that I didn't like when they came in. I mean, I know they changed it, but it was LA Knight.
Yeah.
Hated that.
I forgot, what was his name?
Eli Drake.
Yeah.
See, I always thought LA Knight sounded better than Eli Drake. That sounds like a boring ass name.
But that goes back to the thing, like, that's what you know him as.
He built himself up as Eli Drake. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't notice that. But, like, again, it's fixing what's not broken. When you have a following as Eli Drake, why change it? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Why get rid of a guy's first name? Why? It just doesn't make any sense. Does Vince just sit there, wake up in the middle of the night and take a note on his phone? I'm changing his name to Gunther.
Right.
Let's get rid of the name Matt and just call him Riddle. That's a great idea. Linda, wake up. Do you like it?
Dude, it's fucking lazy too.
Yeah.
It's lazy the way they did it. He comes out announced as Walter, and at the end of the match, I'm Gunther now. Like, okay, what? Why?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
And that's
no video wall, no package, no nothing. Just fucking
no reasoning
Gunther
behind it. Yeah, no reasoning, no story. And this is the thing that fires me up more than the idiocy of story booking and character work choices like that. Yeah, WWE doing that is bad. But the thing that's even worse are the brainwashed fans who, they just changed his name. It's that, like, kind of, it's just WWE, and that whole mentality is why nothing will ever fucking change in that company, because everyone just makes excuses for them.
Yeah. It's just proven you have no respect for your fans when you do shit like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love the NXT roster having fun with it today. Did you see Kyle O'Reilly's tweets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
he goes, that's assuming between now and where is it? Okay, yeah, that's assuming between now and then Gunther doesn't get distracted by. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Whereas here it is, Grayson Waller. That, just so everyone knows, Walter was just too close to Waller. So I spoke to my lawyers, and they are good at what they do. You're welcome. So he's making it like he took the credit for changing the name.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you're trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit, but
Yeah.
Yep. You can polish the turd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. My question is, what do you think about the everyone's up in arms because they copy or trademarked Gunther Stark, which is a Nazi U-boat commander from World War II. What do you guys think about that?
That's crazy. I don't not see it happening. It was a WWE move,
When did they trademark that? Do you know when that happened?
It was recently.
It's like
I wonder
2
if
days
they
before it happened,
trademarked it.
right?
I'm sure it was after the war.
I wonder if Vince found out afterwards what it was after they put in for the trademark and had no clue.
What are the odds that you picked that name and that?
Yeah,
that's
with that legal team.
Yeah.
It's like, I picked Furman. I'm so sorry.
Right. I mean,
seems like a far stretch for a coincidence, honestly.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: it's not the best look for a global publicly traded company to have a character named after a Nazi officer.
Yeah.
But at the same time, motherfuckers on Twitter and Instagram are acting like they named him Adolf Hitler. Fucking settle down. Settle down. They picked fucking Joe Blow, rando #1 U-boat captain. Like
Yeah,
no one's ever heard of this motherfucker. It's not like they picked Heinrich Himmler or any of the like big Nazi names. They picked some regular dickhead who probably like he wasn't even that ranked. He's a commander of a U-boat. Big fucking deal, dude.
Well, here's the thing too. Like, I don't think there's one person out there that didn't have to Google it to know who that was.
No one knew who Gunther fucking Stark was. Nobody.
Unless you're like a U-boat graduate, you know. Like some fucking assholes like, I know all the commanders of every U-boat and every fucking society.
You've got the whole like just babyfied generation. Well, they named him. Yeah, it's not a good look. You're asking for people to talk shit when they find out that that's a Nazi. I get it, but dude, it's not like it's this known person like coming to the ring, Adolf Hitler. Like, guys, settle the fuck down.
Can you picture Walter with the mustache?
These
fuck.
These people, if they had like the Iron Sheik and Ivan Koloff today, they have these guys representing Iran and Russia. What are they doing?
Right.
They can't do this. It's wrestling. Relax.
Not too long ago.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Bulgarian Ruth. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. When Mike said not like there was a U-boat graduate, is that what enthusiasts of U-boats call?
There's people that study cabooses for a living. There's that one dude,
U-boat enthusiast.
U-boat enthusiast.
I like to collect U-boat models.
A U-boat graduate. U-boat
Hilarious.
Oh God! All right, I think it's time we move on to the next topic. You guys ready?
Yeah,
fair enough.
All right. Our next topic of the evening: should fans in the front row be obligated to sit down during matches if there are children on the floor behind them?
Chad, you go first.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So this topic came to mind because they talk about this on Busted Open a lot. That I'm going to set it up. So just give me a second. WWE, there's been a lot of people calling into Busted Open Radio and complaining on social media that at WWE shows, WWE security, if you're sitting on the floor once the match starts, tells fans to sit down.
Yeah.
So there's a big debate going on Busted Open Radio. Like, should people be, if you pay your ticket price, should you have to sit down? You know, if there's children or you're a big dude in your front row, like, should you be made to sit down? Well, I go to AEW Dynamite last week in Raleigh, and me and Cassie are third row, and there are kids near us, small kids, probably under the age of 7 years old. And there's these 3 or 4 old dudes. I mean, they're like in their 60s in the front row, having a ball, cheering, standing up during matches, loving it. And there's these 2 guys beside me multiple times throughout the show. They would yell up at them and be like, hey, I still remember some of the things they said. Hey, old guy in the front row, you paid for a seat, use it. And it made the old guys who aren't diehard wrestling fans, they're just elderly gentlemen enjoying the show. I could tell that it made them self-conscious that they got called out by this 20-some-year-old dipshit. So they sat down the majority of the show. Then later on in the show, a bigger guy who was row 2, big dude who was drinking, he was standing up, and same 2 assholes say, hey man, taps him on the shoulder, gives him a little, one of those little taps him on the shoulder and says,
Sir,
hey man, there's a fucking kid back here. He can't see. Could you sit down? And the big guy was like, "Oh yeah, you're worried about the kid and you're cursing like that," like called him out on it.
Oh, I love it.
Well, when that happened, the guy started pointing to security saying this guy was causing an issue. They moved him. Then they threw the big guy out. And this was, I will say, this was not AEW security. This was the PNC Arena security. This wasn't the guys with the security guys with the AEW. This was PNC security in the stands, not the guys around the ring. So here's my, so I set the story up. If you pay your money and you have front row and somebody has their 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old kid, tough fucking shit. Yeah. I'm standing the whole show. You know what you're getting into. It is not my responsibility to sit down because your child can see. We're on the floor. I want to be up, rowdy, fucking cheering. I shouldn't be made to feel like an asshole because you made the bonehead move of picking a floor seat for your kids. If you're so concerned about your kid being able to see, buy a couple rows up on the lower bowl. So that's not an issue. But for you to tell a person who's spending $300, $400, $500, $600 fucking dollars for front row to be like, hey man, sit down. Dude, when you're sitting down, this isn't a comedy show. This isn't a theater show. Wrestling shows are like rock concerts. I want to be up on my fucking feet. I want to be going crazy. And when you're made to sit down, I don't care how excited you are. If you're made to sit down, it takes some of the energy out of the room, period.
Yeah.
So for all the people that think you need to, it's your obligation. Once the action starts, you need to sit down so people can see. Fuck you. No, that's not how it works. Like I paid, take your kids up on the stairs so they can see. And my girlfriend has kids, you know what I mean? Like I get it. But if I was taking children to a show, I wouldn't go on the floor and then complain about it.
Yeah. No, 100%.
I mean, we've all been to shows, and if somebody stands up in front of you, you stand up too. It's not that hard.
Yeah, or
Hold
stand on your chair if you're a little kid.
Stand on a seat. Like it's not brain surgery.
I agree though. Don't pick a floor seat. Yeah. If you're bringing somebody that's a kid, like if it's a kid, like take the kid to where they can look down and see. The floor, 100%. The floor is made for that energy. Wrestling's not like it. Like Chad said, it's like a concert, but I mean, wrestling's not a place to where you sit and just sit on your fucking hands and do nothing while everything's going on. I mean,
golf clap.
But that's the thing too. Like they talk about, you always hear about Chicago crowds, New York crowds, and like the crowds, like there's a reason why they talk about the crowds, because the crowd gives you the energy to go out there and put on a show that's going to be worth something. If I'm a performer and I go out there to a dead cold crowd, it's going to take away from my performance.
Yeah, it makes the show better when you have a crowd.
And don't come at me with the argument that they're professionals, they should be able to do it. No, I don't care who you are. That adrenaline that you get from somebody cheering you on, that makes you want to go harder. It gives you an adrenaline boost. And if you have somebody sitting there cold, doing nothing, that's why they have the warm up. That's why they call them warm up matches, to warm the crowd up, to get the crowd going. The crowd's supposed to be hot.
Your goal should be for every motherfucker in that building to be on their feet the entire time.
Exactly.
The entire time. Sneed, remember, I have an example. I don't know what band it was. I know it was at an Ozfest that we attended in the early 2000s. I can't remember what band it was, but I remember me and you kind of got shuffled off. We were packed into the right of the stage. Yeah. We're looking over on the left side of the stage. They're losing their shit. I mean, people are going crazy. And then our little pocket of 200 people are standing there with their thumbs up their asses. And it's like, I couldn't let go. I couldn't just be in the show because everyone's just standing there. And I remember looking at Sneed and being like, man, I want people to move.
Oh, I know exactly who it was, because I remembered that whole entire thing. It was El Nino.
Yeah, El Nino. That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
who's
Yeah.
El Nino?
No, listen, I've been to hundreds of shows as a kid. You know what I did when I couldn't see in front of me? I stood on a chair or I found a fucking other place to go stand. Like
Yep.
that's what you do.
Yep.
You know, it's not
Yeah,
you pay your hard-earned fucking money, like you said, fucking $300, $400, $500, $600 a ticket, and you're gonna have somebody kick you out that wasn't even with the kid. Like
Because you stood up.
Yeah,
Because you were
oh,
having
I'm
a good time.
So sorry, you know, like
Hey,
it's fucked up, man.
I said it through text. Like, but if I get kicked out, if I get kicked out because somebody comes and says that I'm causing an issue because I'm standing up, somebody's getting their nose broke on the way out.
Hence needs really causing an issue.
If I'm getting kicked out, I'm going to get kicked out for a reason. If I don't feel like that's the reason, then I'm going to wreck your face on the way out.
Well, the guys that got that dude tossed literally was the guy sitting beside me. And when all this shit was going down, I leaned over to Cassie and I was like, if they try to remove me, they're going to have to physically remove me. Because I'm not going to just walk out. I'm not leaving. I paid for these tickets. I'm having a good time. I'm standing when I want to stand.
100%.
But here's the thing. I sit. And I probably sit during times that I wouldn't have sit because it makes you feel awkward when everyone on that row's like, hey, sit down. Like, dude, we're at a show. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, don't be crowd general, man. They pay
Yeah,
people
who
to do
are
that
you?
shit. Exactly.
Who are you to tell anyone to sit down?
I watched the whole thing go down on Rampage because I knew it happened.
Yeah, they cut a little bit of it out. But you
Did
could
they really?
see some of it. Yeah, they
Well,
chopped around it.
I could see the guy looking down the aisle talking to something. He looked pretty passionate about what he was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all on hard cam. You could see it all, but like I think when security came and talked to him, I'm pretty sure they cut most of that out. It was during the women's match.
Yeah,
I think they edited around hard cam so you couldn't see it.
Assholes.
Yeah, but
yeah.
No, sit down or
stand up.
Stand up but move if you find somewhere to sit.
Well, I think like Dave LaGreca and Bully Ray, their whole take on it from Busted Open Radio, because this has been a recurring debate on their show. Like I said, their whole take is like, I liked what LaGreca said. LaGreca was like, the times that I have taken, because he's got a young daughter and he used to take her when she was very small. He was like, the times I've taken her to shows and we've got in a situation where we're on the floor and she can't see, I go up into the first few rows of the lower bowl. I find someone, I find like a father-daughter combo or a father-son combo or a mother, whatever, just two people. And he goes up to him and is like, hey, I've got third row on the floor. Do you want to take my tickets? My daughter can't see. You can have, and they're better seats. So everybody always does it. Then he can see, and then he's paying it forward for someone else. I think that's a good move.
That's a really good move.
It is. I think the moral of the story is, though, pick a seat that you're not going to cause a problem for everybody else.
Yeah, right. If you're not going to let people enjoy it, stay the fuck home.
Yeah, it's not my responsibility to make your trip.
Say it again, Tom, for everybody. Say it again.
If you're not going to, what I say? If you stay the fuck home, if you're not going to let somebody else enjoy it.
Right.
Fair enough.
like Mike called them, fucking
crowd generals. Fucking assholes. Stand up for standing up.
Bunch of Gunther Starks, bunch of U-boat commanders out there.
U-boat graduates.
They're probably the same people that give you dirty looks if they see you not wearing a mask.
Bunch of U-boat graduates out there laying the law down.
Way to go, comrade! You fucking asshole.
U-boat graduate. All right. Well, all right. Does anybody have any final things to say before we move on to the final topic of the evening?
Let's do it.
Let's go. All right. All right. So our final topic of the evening: did AEW botch Moxley's surprise return, and is GCW to blame?
I was gonna say, I
take
think GCW botched it for AEW. by announcing that. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, shit, man, I was expecting a surprise return from Mox on Dynamite one night. And now I know it's coming before this event, I bet. And now they went and announced it for this past Wednesday. Mox is
Yeah.
back. So yeah, I feel like it was botched, but I think GCW is more to blame.
Listen,
than
I
anyone.
think if smart move would have been to still have him come out as a surprise, because like me and Chad were talking about it on the show. We were like, you know, what's going to happen is this going to be his first match back. This is going to be first time seeing him, you know, since he went to rehab and all this shit. But like, they didn't have to announce him. We already had Cody coming out, you know, like Cody's
Right.
was the big announcement. So they didn't have to necessarily announce him. And he still could have did like a backstage thing, you know, or fucking like, fuck you, you know, walked up to whoever and you just gave him an evil eye or something. But I mean, the GCW match has been advertised for months, right? Like, I'm not wrong.
I feel like
a couple weeks
put
at
the
least.
poster 2 or 3 weeks, I'd say.
Yeah. So like we kind of knew it was coming.
But that's
So yeah, I don't know.
Here goes Sneed.
I can see Sneed get
listen.
Buckle up.
Here's the thing. GCW did not have to announce that yet. They didn't have to announce that he was coming to this yet. We could have had a surprise return because however long it's been that they've announced this is not going to do anything more or less for the buys of the pay-per-view than if we had a surprise return and then they got to announce it right after that.
Yeah.
Give us the fucking surprise. I hate more than anything when you ruin a surprise by saying, tune in, he's coming back tonight. Like, fucking give me the moment, man.
Yeah.
Give
I'm
me
with
the
Steve here.
moment. I don't care if you announce it. I'm watching the show anyway. And if you're going to get somebody to watch the show just because you're saying Mox is coming back, this one's not enough. That's not enough of a surprise. Like, if you're a fan of AEW, you know Mox is coming back. You're watching the show. Nobody at this point is going to watch just because he's coming back. Use the surprise.
It's true.
Use the surprise.
Very true.
And then as soon as he does the surprise return tonight, then GCW say, hey, he's back. This is our main event at Hammerstein. I just don't, it just doesn't make sense to me that anybody that they said it ruined it.
Yeah.
Fucking mad. Like,
Well, yeah, I feel like there's a lot of moving parts to it too, because like one, they announced Homicide as the #1 contendership. So we all assumed he was going to be there.
Yeah.
They've sold out the Hammerstein. So you're not looking for ticket sales. I do get them announcing Mox being the headliner. They're looking for pay-per-view sales.
and I get that.
I get that. They're a small company. They need that. Like, and they need as much time to hype you on it. That's a thing when you give them, you know, shows on Sunday, you've got to wait till the Wednesday before to start hyping pay-per-view. That's not good for a small company. They need as much time as they can. So I get why GCW wanted to do that and needed to do that. I'm torn, man. Like, I'm with you guys. Like, I love surprises. I don't like announced shit. Announcing someone coming back, like Mickey James being in the Rumble, the Bellas being in the Rumble, all of that shit. I hate stuff like that. I hate that Mox was announced for Dynamite when it would have been a surprise. It's the same thing, even on a smaller level of like, remember when Dean Ambrose came back from injury in WWE, and instead of just hitting his music, they have Seth Rollins' stupid ass come out and be like, well, I guess I'm going to need a lunatic. Like, instead of just hitting the music, he killed the pop by announcing that. Like, don't do that. You're killing the pop. Let it naturally hit with the music. So I'm with you on all of that. But I think at this point, I'm, you know, maybe we could argue, should GCW have announced it? I think for them being a small business, I get why they wanted to have more time saying that Mox was on the main event.
I get it.
But with that being said, okay, so AEW is now in a tricky spot. They have a week. They have less than a week, 2 shows if you count Rampage, to force Moxley back onto the show. So his first time back in the ring after almost 3 months away isn't in another promotions ring.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you want that return in your company. He's your
Yeah,
guy.
sure.
He's your former champion. But if it's already out there that 5 days after the fact he's returning to action in GCW, the surprise isn't there anymore. So I don't mind them hyping it for tonight, because to me, that's a TV ratings grab now. That's Tony
Yeah.
Khan saying, okay, cat's out of the bag. There's no surprise here. So let's use
I get
this.
that.
Let's use this to promote this episode, and maybe we pop a big rating.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like that's a business move.
No,
Well, listen,
absolutely.
And I get that. I just think that with the announcement of Cody and Mox, like one of them could have been a surprise.
Absolutely. That's where I'm
One of
100%
them
with
could have
you
been
on
like
that, man.
you
I
got,
think the Mox would have been awesome. A surprise. The
You just
ovation
can't-
he would have got.
you can't just announce everything. Like you gotta give, like when Trent came back, like they didn't
Yeah.
announce he was coming back, and that was awesome. And he's not even
Yeah.
a huge superstar.
No, and it was a moment.
No, you're right.
That's what
It was a
wrestling's
moment.
about, the moments, man.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
And
with
Mox is coming back from a life-changing event. Like, he's
Right.
going to get such an ovation. It would have been such a, I mean, it'll still be a feel-good moment, I'm sure.
that.
But
Yeah.
I wonder how much if Tony Khan knew GCW was doing this, if he had to give the approval since.
Oh, I'm
That's
sure.
what I
Mox
was
is
going to
me.
ask. That's
So,
what
like, I would
do you
love to know the
think-
inner workings. Because if Khan didn't know this, does that affect work and relationship in the future the next time they want to have one of their guys headline a pay-per-view?
Yeah.
So I have a feeling Khan knew, though. I don't think he was totally surprised. by
No.
it.
I would hope that GCW wouldn't go rogue on that and take one of their
Right.
biggest stars and just announce it without talking to Tony.
Yeah.
Brett Lauderdale's got to be smarter than that. Because I mean,
Yeah.
let's be honest, AEW is the bigger dog in the arena right now, and
100%.
for you to not clear that promotional poster to be released, and you just take it upon yourself to release it, knowing that it could fuck up booking for AEW, who's allowing their guy to be your champion.
Yeah.
You're
On
an
your
idiot.
pay-per-view,
You're
not
a
just an
fucking
indie
idiot
show.
if you make that
Yeah.
decision without clearing it with AEW
Sonny.
first.
You clear it with Sonny.
Yeah.
with Tony.
You clear it with Tony.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, it's just, I just really think that it could have been done a lot differently.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I
A
agree.
lot differently.
I would have rather have been a total surprise. I would have rather just bring him back a couple weeks early to AEW for whatever he was going to do tonight, and then keep him off TV again for a couple weeks.
So Sneed, with the calendar, the way it's laid out, GCW is on Sunday.
Yeah.
If you had 2 weeks of prep, how would you have played this whole thing out?
If I had two-
And give me the way GCW, GCW side, like how would you have laid this out?
Well, with GCW, like you said, they assumed that Mox was going to be there. You assume that he's going to be there. So what I would have done, because it's tradition that he comes out, like he's come out in black robe and stuff before, right?
Yeah.
Put somebody in a black robe on the poster. Don't say it's him. You don't have to say
Yeah.
it's him. You can assume that it's him, and then he comes back, and then maybe say it. That's what on GCW side. That's what I would have put him on there. I would have put somebody in a black robe, put him on a black, because I mean, let's be on 95% chance it's going to be Mox if it's like that. Like that's
Yeah.
basically saying it's him.
But do you think like this is GCW's world champion? This is your biggest event. This is your mania. I mean, I heard Matt Cardona on Busted Open Radio today saying that he's treating the Hammerstein show like it's WrestleMania, because it is WrestleMania for GCW.
Yeah.
So for you to not put your fucking champion's mug on a poster, I mean, we could do the black robe thing. I get it. And everyone's going to assume, but you're not trying to get those people that will assume he's going to be there. You're trying to get the people that's flipping through and they're like, holy fucking shit, that's Dean Ambrose. I'm going to watch
Yeah.
this. That's
Yeah.
what you're going
And
for.
I get it. I get that. I get it. I just think I think with the timeline, I think they could have even pushed it. I just think that I think the surprise should have been there for AEW, and then they announced it. Maybe push it, maybe do a couple weeks before, but I think a surprise return with him in AEW and then announcing it for GCW.
Yeah.
You could even have Mox come out on AEW and say, "I'm going to be at GCW this weekend to defend the title."
Do that too.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah. I mean, not even this weekend. They could have done that a couple of weeks ago. Not put Mox in action, just have him come out. Talk.
What? Read the question again, Sneed. The debate question.
Hold on a second. Did AEW botch Moxley's surprise return, and is GCW to blame?
Hot take. Mox is to blame.
Okay.
If Mox never would have left, this never would have been a fucking problem.
That's true too.
How dare him want to get his life together and quit drinking?
I mean,
Johnny Walker, goddamn.
I love and respect that he's taking care of himself, but just being completely like boiling it down to the base thing. If that hadn't have happened, then you wouldn't have had to juggle two returns that are so close. And I think he set out a little longer than maybe they anticipated, and it's getting close to this big event, and then it becomes this time situation of like, fuck, if he's going to be there, then what are we going to do? You know, it seemed like a last minute, like, I feel like Tony really left it up to Mox to come back when he felt he was ready, which he should, and I respect that. But I feel like he gave him time to do whatever he needs to do. When you're ready, come back, we'll take you, no pressure.
And I don't want it to seem I don't want it to seem like I don't understand. Like, I get the fact that GCW needs to have it. I fucking hate it. That's the thing. Like, I understand it. I understand every parameter around it. I know that GCW needs to put him on the poster. I know they need to sell these. They don't need tickets.
Tough shit. I don't like it.
Pay-per-view buys, but do it the way I want to do it.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Do it the way.
I'm with you 100%.
If I was AEW, I would have waited for a Mox return to happen in Rampage, and then have him do exactly what you said. I'm going to be at GCW this fucking Sunday. Both parties win. You know, it's like, you guys want to see me in action, and like it, but it's still make it the surprise. You know, fucking throw them out there. We get Wild Thing playing. Everybody fucking
make it even better.
Shit.
Make it even fucking better. Mox comes back to a hero's return, says some shit, gets his good spot in, maybe attacks someone in the company who he's going to a feud with in AEW. Everything's going great. He's standing tall out of the fucking crowd. He's blindsided by Homicide.
Yeah.
And then Excalibur's like, he's got to defend the GCW World title this Sunday. You know, then it's like everyone wins.
That
would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
all right.
We all agree. It was fucked up. It could have been done better.
It was fucked up.
I agree. I understand. Like I said, I understand the parameters of what needed to happen business wise. Don't like it. Still don't like it.
It was fucked up. Mox should have kept drinking. I'm kidding.
Should never had a damn kid, man.
Fucking goddamn U-boat graduates, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Those U-boat graduates drove him to drinking. It's their fucking fault.
I'll drink to
Sons of bitches.
Oh, guys, what a fun debate. Anybody have any final thoughts before we head out?
Long live Walter.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Walter.
Coming around.
I'm going to make I know we did our top shelf awards a couple weeks ago with bold predictions. I have a fourth bold prediction I'm going to throw in here on the debate. I say within 14 months, Walter is gone from WWE.
Yes.
Agree.
I take the under. I'll take the under on that.
Yeah, I'd take the under too. That's,
14 months he'll be hitting the indies and being GCW world champion or something.
Yeah. Yep. I can see that happening. All
Book
right. Well, that's going to wrap us up for this edition of the Turnbuckle Debate. Make sure you guys are tuning into all the shows that we have going on. You'll find everything at theturnbuckletavern.com. There's the t-shirts right there. if you're listening to this, go to the YouTube channel so you can see the t-shirts that's put out. Tom, get your stuff in before we go. Hurry.
The OG Fit Kid on Twitter and Instagram. Turnbuckle Sessions every Wednesday.
There he is. His mug on a mug.
Mug on a mug.
Mug
Get
on
it.
a mug.
Mug.
Is dismissed.